gonna be changing the front brake pads. So the first thing we gotta do is jack up the car. We're all jacked up. Remove your lugs. Here's the brake. So we're gonna need a 14 socket. Once you pull the 14, loosen it with your hand, pull it out, lift this up. Brake pads are right here. Front pad and back. They got a few tools. You're gonna have to squeeze this piston back in, back flat, before you put it back down over the brakes. Because if it's not squeezed in, then it won't clear these new brake pads. All right, as you can see now it's flat because it's squeezed back in properly. Just gonna go ahead and let it down. Go ahead and just let it down, push it on. Just gonna go ahead and push it back down. Make sure it line up, push it, make sure your nipples ends like that. Installing back the nut. Install your nut, push it, make sure you push on it and turn it. Hand tighten it first, then you can use your ratchet and tighten it. I just like to hand tighten it and be done. So that's side one. Now we're gonna do side two. All right, we're on to the next side. Remove the 5 lugs, pull the tire off. So how do we know this car needed brakes? You see the edge of this right here? That's called metal to metal. So when I pull the pads off, you're gonna see the pad is actually metal to metal. So when you step on the brakes, you're gonna hear grinding sound. So that's when you know it's bad. But it could be worse. We do the same thing. We're gonna pull this out, slide that out, lift this up. Remember, we gotta squeeze this back in. So whatever tool you use, squeeze that back in. These are the brake pads, front and back. It's the front one. Let's check the front one first. Outside of the pad, this is the inside of the pad. And as you can see, there's no difference. So that's metal to metal, like I told you. Let me give you an ideal. All right, so here's the ideal. You see that thickness of this? This is the pad. And this is the metal. And you see this one? There's no pad, all metal. So we call that metal to metal where I'm from. All right, you see that piston's back in, flat? We're gonna go ahead and put it back down now, slide it back down. All right, the brakes is all done.